Welcome back, queens and kings. Back again. Hey, look. And this is going to be a hell of a recap, okay? Because we in season 3 now, baby.
Season 3, baby. We live. We out here. Y'all
what you been up to? What you been? Look, we all going to be over here clearing our throat a little bit. If I sound a little nasally, y'all know the seasons is changing. And, yeah, allergies. They not our friends.
And this season change has really been effing a lot of people up.
No, really. I've actually seen pollen. I physically have seen pollen in the air.
That's psychotic. Wow.
That's crazy. Like I feel like that's one of those things. Like I'm not a bee. Like I shouldn't see that.
I'm not a bee. Why am I seeing pollen? This is not my job.
Like why am I?
Okay.
Bro, like. but what you been up to, Jay?
Bro, I've been up to a lot, bro. Like since season 2's ended, and we're on season 3 now. So much has changed. So much has happened. A lot of life changes, bro. I've been out here. So for most of y'all who don't know, and sometimes I talk about it, sometimes I do have an ASMR TikTok now. Yeah. Your girls on that crazy hello? I was about to say satisfaction, and that ain't no word. Satisfactory sensory neural, okay? Because ASMR essentially stands for auto sensory meridian response. And whenever you hear anything that's satisfying to your ears, you get tingles or something that goes from essentially the feeling goes from the top of your head through the bottom of your spine. Praise God.
And that's real. That's definitely real. Certain sounds have that sensation. It sends that tingly sensation throughout your body. And it's also a kink, if anyone didn't know that, by the way.
Okay. We're talking to sexologists right here. It's definitely a kink. It's definitely
for some, yes.
A lot of people say it's satisfying to them when they hear people say, I had a friend who told me it was satisfying to her when she heard people pronounce the letter S. That was very satisfying for her. She loved hearing that letter, that enunciation on your. It's a different sound. I think it's called Y'all, I've been so removed from my speech calm stuff, but it's a specific sound that is very satisfying.
Just take her word for it. It's real. Okay. It exists. If you want to know more details, look it up.
Okay, look it up. I've been on my ASMR kick, and a lot of people have been liking it. To my surprise, at first I was doing it just for fun, but people were like, "Oh my gosh, this is so satisfying. Can you do this next? Can you please start doing more role plays?" Because I do role plays sometimes too, and not the role plays y'all thinking you're nasty, you freaks. I'm talking about role plays where you imagine you're getting satisfied in a non-sexual. Hey, some of it's sexual for some people though, because this one guy was definitely yeah, can you wear a black leather jacket next time in your video and rub on the arms real nice?
I was just about to say, I know you be getting some weird shit sometimes. I do. Just because niggas be weird on the internet for real.
They do. But yes, there's been a lot going on. I also have, my relationship life, you know what I'm saying? That's definitely here and prevalent. So your girl JJ been into a lot of things, a lot of different things. Y'all gonna continue to see throughout this season. Bree, what you been up to? With my long-winded ass response.
Hey, bro. I've also gone through some changes. I got my breast reduction, y'all. I went from a fucking damn near F cup to a D, a singular D.
Did you say F?
Yeah. So I was past the triple D threshold and started going to E and F. It goes all the way up to J. If y'all didn't know that, bra sizes, they go all the way up to J cup.
That's very unfortunate. Not unfortunate, damn, but it's I know the bitch's backs be hurting.
Bro, and now I'm still healing. Like it is gonna be like a 6-month process for me to completely heal.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm up and moving, like my scars and everything closed, like
Yeah.
everything went very smoothly. They look really nice.
Ooh.
And I'm loving them, honestly. And I've been having like a really fun time
Yeah.
shopping and like wearing all the different clothes that I've always wanted to wear, but I couldn't because my titties were holding me back.
Hey.
So that's been a fun experience. I also dyed my hair.
Yes.
I went through a
Look
lot
how
of
cool
changes.
and
I
thick
was
her
like
hair is.
literally right before, I want to say it was a week before I had my breast reduction surgery. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and do the ginger auburn color because I've been wanting to do it forever. I'm gonna be a new bitch anyway, so let me just go ahead, and I did it, and I love it, and this
And it
color is here to
suits you.
stay.
It
Yes,
suits you really
yes, it
well.
definitely does, and I've been told the same thing from a lot of people, so it's definitely here to stay. And then also just embracing like my natural hair. I've been wearing my curly fro out, even though some people say I look like Ice Spice. But
You thought I was feeling you? That
that
nigga
nigga a
munch.
munch.
Bro.
But I still love it nonetheless. And yeah, by the time y'all hear this, I will now be 32. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm playing. I really turned 26, but my birthday just passed as well. And yeah, I'm just looking around like, damn, I'm entering the later half of my 20s, but I'm embracing it all. I'm embracing it all, honestly. There's like this odd sensation of like anticipation.
Yeah.
That's like the best word I could choose for it. Like I'm not afraid to age, but I'm also kind of like, what the hell gonna happen?
No, I know what you mean. But you know, they even say though, like, because I feel like we'd be like, yeah, we both in our 30s in our prime. And I work, like, at my job, I work with a lot of older women. Like, I'm, like, the youngest person there. And I'm telling them that notion. And they were like, girl, when you're in your 30s, that ain't even your prime. Your 40s, late 40s to early 50s is your prime. I said, what?
Bro, it goes up every, depending on who you talk to, it goes up. And I'm not mad at it, honestly.
But
I'm
see,
not.
my mom is older, and she said that 50s and 40s were her prime. Like, she said that was, like, the funnest years of her life was, like, during that time. That was also when she was raising us, too. So it was just so fun for her. So, hey, if y'all mean to tell me that I can for real still act like I'm 16, then let's just say that, then. I have responsibilities. Like, niggas got debts to pay. Fuck.
We weren't about the positives. We're focusing on the positives.
Okay, because student loans is forgiven or getting forgiven now, I think, right?
Yeah, the application is out, so y'all better go to I don't know the details, but y'all look
just
it
look
up.
it up. Yeah,
The application is open.
The link
I was about to say FAFSA, but that's not right. That don't sound right. That does not sound right. Do not do that. But look up student loan forgiveness Biden. Yeah. It should come up. And make sure it's a .org.
Yeah.
Not no .com, not no .net. Do not put your personal information because they ask you for your personal like socials and all of that. Make sure it's in a secured, you on the right site because the scammers are scamming at large.
They're already scamming on this, and it just happened like what, last month, 2 months ago. They're already scamming.
I can believe it.
They're already scamming.
I can believe it.
No, I'm sick of it. Oh, but anyways, we did the recap. So y'all know what we finna get into next. It's time for the game. It's time for the game.
Oh, it looks like we're playing this or that.
You can get with this, or
you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get
with
this.
this.
Okay. Who going first? Who going first? You going first? I'm going first.
You go first. I gotta think about mine.
Okay, JJ. Okay, you better think quick because I already got it. Karaoke or game night?
This is a good one. A good one.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking about my specific friend group. Our specific friend group, we go crazy on either or. Because if there's game night and Uno's involved, we're going crazy. But if we're doing karaoke night, we got the music videos on and we singing like Sierra against the pole as if it's floating by itself.
Yes, bro. Every single time we have props. We
Hmm.
be having props, yes.
I think I'm gonna do karaoke night only because we get so immersed in the songs that we think that we're a part of the music video. So
We
I'm
definitely
gonna
do.
go with karaoke. That was a good
I
one.
like that.
That was a good one. I like that one.
Thank you. Inspired by true events.
Inspired by true events. Okay. I like that. Okay, since I'm talking to a huge cinephile, let's I'm gonna do like a Spooktober theme. So I'm gonna do a scary movie, this or that, okay? Okay, so and I actually don't remember how much you're into scary movies though. But I guess
I like horror. I like horror movies.
Okay. Gore? Like gore too?
I do, yeah.
Okay. So this or that. Halloween, old version, 1978 with old girl Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay. Yes.
Or Nightmare on Elm Street, old version.
Okay, so the OG versions of Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street. Because I want to say Halloween came out before Nightmare on Elm Street.
I want to say
if I'm correct.
Too. I want to say
I'm gonna go with Halloween just because look, someone can fact check me if you want, but I do recall watching some like horror movie documentary that said that Halloween was like the breakthrough for horror at that time period. No one else, like it created the whole slasher movie category.
Oh wow. Okay.
So like everything that followed Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream, Jason, like or Friday the 13th and all that, I want to say it was after Halloween. So I'm gonna choose Halloween. Okay, and he's still chasing that bitch to this day. I hope, bro, because isn't there another one coming out this Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis again?
This is supposed to be what they say the last Halloween. This is supposed to be Halloween Ends. And
I'm convinced. I'm convinced at this point they both gotta die at the same time for this shit to be over.
And that's what people are predicting. People are predicting that they're both gonna die at the end.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's wild. That shit is really wild to me.
I don't know. I might watch it though.
I'm gonna still watch it.
You gonna watch the new Black Panther, Wakanda Forever?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm gonna watch it about 8 times in theaters. Yes.
Are you gonna wear white or some African attire? People talking about that's what they doing in honor of Chadwick. It's either you wear white or you wear like some type of African attire.
Yeah, I don't know yet. I don't know
how much I agree about the African attire, but I'll wear white.
Yeah, I don't really know yet, but I know I'm gonna be there.
Yeah. As long as I'm there, that's support enough. It's gonna break the box office anyway, so it really don't matter what I'm wearing. So we doing this for chat.
Okay. So since we on that, okay. Okay, let me see. Okay, Avengers.
Oh, which one?
Or Justice League. Oh no. Instead of Justice League, let me say Avengers or Teen Titans, because I know you fuck with Teen Titans.
Wow, Avengers or Teen Titans? Bro, the only reason, and I know a lot of people have to be like, boo, the only reason why I'm going with Teen Titans.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm going with Teen Titans is because I have more of a connection with Teen Titans. It's like childhood, like, that's like childhood connection. That's childhood memories with Teen Titans. I will never forget how much I cried when Tara had sacrificed herself and she didn't remember Beast Boy. And he tried going up to her and be like, Tara, don't you remember me? And she was looking at that nigga like, no. And that was the only bitch that gave Beast Boy play, because Raven never gave him play. He tried to be with Starfire for a little bit. She never gave him play. Like, that was the only girl that actually gave Beast Boy play, and I was rooting for him. And they
also throw in some like traumatic ass sacrifice, like,
bro,
she gotta be sad as hell for some shit.
Bro, sad as hell. And I'm like,
why is DC like that? Honestly, I'm peeping a pattern. Cause like the whole thing, like Batman whole thing is like, yeah, your parents died, but like, bro, like eventually we gonna have to heal.
Yeah.
Eventually. Like that's what the feeling is like. Before he go and punch niggas on the street, he'd be like, my parents.
My parents, though.
And I know them niggas looking down like, stop bringing us in this. We
this
didn't
dumb
create
shit that you're
this.
doing.
Okay, we did not ask you to do this.
Okay, I got one last one. Since we on DC, I got one last one.
Okay.
Well, since we're on heroes, period. Okay, hold on.
Oh shit.
What do I want to do? Okay, as a whole.
Okay.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel. That was easy. I'm sorry. I know Marvel, what you was going for. And some may call me a basic bitch, but honestly, I don't care. I'm on Marvel's side. I don't know. DC's characters just never really like intrigued me as much, honestly. Like, and I know there are hella characters out there. Like, I be finding out new shit every single day, and I still watch the movies. Like, I just saw Black Adam, which it was actually really good.
I heard that nigga was fighting niggas every second of the movie.
Oh yeah, it was straight hands the whole time, and I like that because that's how I like my animes too. So like to see that in an actual superhero movie, I was like, yeah, I can get behind this. But yeah, I'm gonna still go with Marvel just because I like the stories better and the characters better than what DC has put out.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. DC has also a lot of like failed characters too, like failed shows, failed spin-offs. DC has never really, like, I don't know what DC movie has topped a Marvel movie in box office. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think any. So yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? This or that.
Led to Chris Wood's death. The fuck is that? Shit! I'm dying in this fucking country ass fucked up town. Shit flying in my mouth. The fuck? I can't see pollen. Let's get the fuck out this country, motherfucker. I can't even see me.
Bro, every single time I see that video.
He said, I can't see way.
I'm tired of this fuck ass town. Shit flying in my mouth. Bro, I know everyone had to have some type of experience where they were pissed off like that.
No.
Like where there was a bug, where there was like some foreign object that flew in your face or your eye or your mouth or some shit. Like, I had a bug fly up my nose one time and it freaked me the fuck out. And I'm pretty sure I look just as crazy as that nigga on the street.
I know exactly what you mean because I remember being at Mount Hebron daycare. And
why do we all go there from
Bro, I don't know. It's very cultish to me. I don't know. Like, every black parent put their kid in Mount Hebron daycare, bro. I don't care. I know that. If you was in Dallas, Texas, DFW Metroplex, your kid went to Mount Hebron daycare. And I remember being outside for recess and a swarm of bees was chasing me. And where was the staff to help me out? You know what I'm saying? There was no staff.
In high school, I also had, like, my senior year, I worked at Mount Hebron daycare for, like, the after-school kids.
Mm-hmm.
The staff don't be nowhere. As far as me, I was there eating the snacks and doing arts and crafts as much as we could. Like, bro, I used to try to convince kids not to go outside as much as I could. Because I did not. Bro, because none of the other staff members wanted to do anything.
And that's
I used to be like, y'all want me to watch, like, 25 kids on my own? Ranging from 3rd to 5th grade? Are you serious? Are you serious? For real? Bro.
I can just see you sitting around.
Bro, because kids be doing the absolute fucking most, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and it will be after school too. Like, they don't bro. It'll be after they snack and homework time, so that'll be their reward. Kids would go fucking wild. And I used to just sit there like, just don't hurt yourself for real, please.
Please, because it's not
Don't
on
hurt
me
yourself.
at the end of the day. It's not on me. Like, stop. Don't even stop. Bro, we got this current event, and it's funny because Twitter and Instagram and even TikTok and Young Miami's podcast as well, because I'm gonna just utilize her. I'm gonna just use her podcast as another like social media streaming site, because that ish is freaking wild. But listen, why is all the rap females beefing, and why are the rap males egging it on?
Bro, the rap girlies are fighting, and it's like, why? Because one thing I just thought, with all the recent like rap girlies that have came out,
yeah,
they really been pushing for a like, okay, you know, we united.
Yeah,
we're not just gonna be hating and tearing each other down. Like, we here. And so I was like, okay, finally,
right?
Because niggas love a good female rap rivalry for some odd reason.
For some weird odd reason.
Because I'm like, niggas, not all the rap niggas be beefing like that. So why is it that the female rappers have to? But anyway,
right?
It's a lot.
You know what I want to say, like, before we jump into this, like a side note, I'm sick and tired of people. Like, I get Nicki Minaj she's doing a lot right now, but I saw this one weird post that was like, Nicki didn't really run the rap game from this time to this time. She was just one of the only female rappers, and there was nobody at her stature that was able to battle her in like stats and charts. And in my head, first of all, I was like, first of all, your argument fell on itself, because you just said there was nobody in her stature that was able to battle her, or like battle her on the Billboard charts, or battle her in anything. And I'm like, can y'all stop not giving this woman her flowers? She carried the female rap game. I know, y'all, I know she's doing a lot right now, but she did carry the female rap game from 2000. I'm going to say 2007. Not when
it was definitely mid 2000s. She started out mid 2000s
to 2014, and I only stopped at 2014 because I feel like everything after Pink Print was not her best work.
And that's okay. Like, I agree with you. I feel like, yeah, you can admit that sis is wilding right now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that doesn't take away from like all that she has done in her career, giving her flowers. Like, she was running shit from that period up to 2014. And bro, like, literally she made it possible for streams to happen. Like, that's like the biggest thing in my mind. Like, when I think of Nicki Minaj, I'm like, she made it possible for artists to actually get paid per stream. Otherwise, all these little niggas would not have made it. Up to that point, everything was physical copies. As an artist, you were getting paid by physical copies sold, CDs, vinyls, like.
And that's females and males. Sorry.
So I'm like, everyone, like, rap in general benefited off of that. So like, you at least gotta acknowledge that she was repping her shit. Now, I will be honest. Look, she the queen. She call herself the queen, but she has not been portraying queen shit lately. I'm just saying, some of the stuff she been doing, that's not queen shit. I don't know.
It's giving Kanye. I don't know.
It's, ooh, damn. That's another topic, because I was definitely talking about that with my boyfriend. Like, a lot of these rap geniuses turn mad. Like, the pipeline is real, but we gonna talk about that another day. But yeah, bro, I'm like, for her to be, because I don't even want to bring like her age into it, okay? Because we get into the beef with her and Lotto for that reason. But like, I don't want to bring her age into it. She has been in the game for a while. She definitely deserved her flowers. And I mean, that's it. Like, point blank. Like, no one should be able to argue or take that away from her. Because at one point, no one was killing a feature like Nicki.
Yeah. Yeah. She was on everybody's feature.
Bro. So,
running this game for 5 years. Guess that's what beat her.
But I'm just like, lately, she's been getting into a lot of mess that I feel like someone of her stature should not be involved in. If we being honest, you don't see Beyonce doing shit like this.
I was just about to say that you don't see Beyonce doing that,
and she's been in the game even longer.
She's been running this game for 20 years. I guess that's why her feet hurt. More than 20 years. Yeah, there was one situation. First of all, the whole her and Lotto thing. I'm not sure what song it was, but their beef escalated to the point where Nicki kept continuing to subtweet. That's when I'd be like, Nicki,
take her Twitter away from her.
Yeah, I'm like, please. But I think she has an issue with being on social media, like dead ass. I remember watching an Instagram live, and Ariana Grande was in the comments, and it's like a TikTok sound because she's like, Ariana, what are you doing here? Oh my gosh! And she was like, why are you back on Instagram? Like, we just got off the phone. Thought she was gonna chill out for a second, and essentially it was alluding to maybe she had a conversation because like she calls Ariana Grande her little sister. Don't really know about that relationship there, but hey, we all have different relationships. And I feel like maybe the conversation was telling Nicki, maybe you should get off of social media and just relax. Cause she got on there and she was like, she literally commented like, oh, I'm worried. Like, sorry, I just wanted to make sure you're good. And it's like, I think when she gets this phone in her hand, she feels like unstoppable. Like, oh, I can do whatever I can say whatever I want to say. I can do whatever I want to do. Like, it's an addiction, and social media can do that to you. Regardless, it's like if you don't know how to really separate yourself from social media, even for someone of her stature, if you have I don't want to say that. Oh, I don't want to say that.
Nah, say it, bro. Say it.
If you have like a weak mind and you're prone to getting this attention from so many people, because she's had so much attention for years. Yeah. So imagine when it seems like, okay, you're not getting as attention, you start doing stuff. Mm-hmm. And you see this on this little phone that you're like, oh, I can type anything and the whole internet will break.
No, social media can definitely lead to mental illness. It definitely can.
It can. Yeah. It really, really can. It really can. And I'm like, so where is the level? Because the issue with Lotto, they had an issue from a song and Lotto tried to DM her and try to, I guess, hash it out. I don't get that either because I feel like y'all love to say, oh, I tried to DM this person. You know this person ain't gonna answer DMs. Do y'all have each other's phone numbers? I'm sure y'all do.
No, bro. I'm like, T-Pain admitted he had years of DMs he didn't go through.
Exactly. Come on now. And then she got mad that Nicki kept subtweeting her. And, while Nicki shouldn't have been doing that, it's kind of like whatever y'all had going on, whatever y'all beef had going on, regardless, it should not have hit social media because now it's up in flames. And then Lotto said, ain't you my mother's age or my grandmother's age? I was like, oh, God.
But she called her a grandmother. I mean, Nicki always say these bitches is her sons. Well, your sons is grown up. They grown now. They out the nest. I don't know.
Your son is grown. Then she got beef with Cardi B. She was saying, allegedly, it was said that Nicki was alluding that Cardi had put black magic on her. I don't love Cardi. I don't love that. She come out with hits, but come on, y'all. Damn.
Bro, I don't know.
It gotta be the cocaine.
Because you do say she looked coked out sometimes. And I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's really funny because it always just seems that she's involved. Like also recently, one thing that happened, Tasha K. So like Tasha K already lost the lawsuit against Cardi B for the same reasons, talking shit and spreading wrong information. Out of $4 million, about to get her assets seized. Gonna get on here on live with Nicki and try to talk about Meg Thee Stallion and try to bring up like Meg like vandalized a home or like she was also renting a house from Tiana Taylor and stuff. And Nicki was just sitting there like, okay. Mm-hmm. Like she wasn't fully responding, but she was definitely like egging it on and like laughing and stuff like that. And so like people kind of, as always, when shit like this happens, it goes viral, it starts trending, and then Meg tweeted weird with the eye rolling emoji. And it's just like, I mean, that is kind of weirdo behavior. Like, why are we still talking? And I feel like it also doesn't help whenever the fans get involved, because when the Barbs, anytime something come up with Nikki, the Barbs be ready. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes y'all, as the Barbs, be arguing without truth. Like, I don't like some of the stuff that you be arguing for her, like, it don't be right. It don't be right. Like, it's okay to acknowledge that sometimes a person is moving with weird behavior, because niggas be moving weird every day.
Yeah, when I saw that live, and Tasha was talking about, she was saying all that stuff about Meg and Tiana Taylor. Nikki was like, she kept like rolling her eyes, and she kept looking dazed. That's why I said, bro, is she on drugs? Because in the live, it looks like she's like kind of like moving. She's kind of moving her head around like this, bitch. And then she was like, wait, what'd you say about Tiana Taylor?
Bro.
And then her whole like demeanor and her mannerisms, she seemed under the influence. And I could be wrong. She probably could have just been tired. But I'm like, I don't know, because every live she be doing, she always rubbing her nose. And I'm not trying to make assumptions, but it be looking weird to me. And then when she was saying all that stuff about Tiana Taylor, because somebody had tweeted the same house that Meg's got burglarized had nothing to do with Tiana Taylor's house. Like, it was a completely different house. And Meg had liked the tweet.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, Nikki, if that was me, because I thought her and Meg were, I'm not going to say close.
And Meg that's what, like, a lot of people were talking about her. Like, I thought y'all were cool. So, like, why wouldn't you not shut that down? Like, if someone's talking about your sis or your friend, like, you gonna change the subject right away. At least, like.
Yeah, because no offense, and I'm not trying to compare to Cardi, but I'm trying to give another rap female example. Like, if that was somebody talking about Meg to Cardi, or talking about JT and Carisha to Cardi, she would have been like, I'm not trying to hear all that shit, or ain't nobody talking about my friends, or let's move on to a different topic because this is not. Or you can just delete her, because who is Tasha K? Like, who is
she? I would definitely be like, hey, bro, like, you might want to stop spreading misinformation before you really lose everything. Like, bitch, you might lose your phone at this point, because what else is left with assets?
It looked like whenever they was in the live, she was,
bro, like, you talking about homes people was renting and being vandalized. Do you have a home? And this is why I'm not a celebrity.
And this is because
this is why I'm not a celebrity.
And because the thing is, like, we gonna reply back to you in the comments. Ain't no I'm gonna look the other way. It's gonna take too much of my time. Now I got time. I'm rich enough to have time, so I got time. I got time today. And then there's all this shit with like Quavo and Takeoff and the Migos. I don't know if they're splitting up or not, but apparently they were getting asked in an interview who's the better rapper, Cardi or Nicki. And the same niggas that was on Takeoff's side during the motorsport when Cardi and Nicki were beefing, these are the same niggas.
Yeah.
Quavo and Takeoff definitely got an interview and said, well, Quavo said Nicki, and then Takeoff was like, I was about to say the same thing.
I'm gonna say Nicki.
Yeah, see, I was gonna say the same thing though. That's crazy.
And I'm like, even if y'all come back cool, like the Migos, I don't know if they're beefing or not, but even if y'all get back connected, y'all gonna have automatic beef with Cardi now, which is Offset's wife. Like, come on, y'all. Like, let's just, if this was me in the interview and they were asking me this, I would just be like, because it could potentially ruin not just familial relationships, but business relationships, I would just be like, no comment. Next question.
Honestly, I'm like, a lot of these celebrities, I feel like, is media training not a thing anymore? Like, I feel like back in the days, like, bitches went through boot camp. Okay? Look, who trained Beyonce and Destiny's Child? Y'all need to call them up.
Or whoever be threatening Tom Holland every time he tries to talk about a new Spider-Man movie.
Bro.
That nigga be like that nigga be like, oh, shit. I don't know, maybe it's
bro, because them niggas be scared whenever they any person dealing with Marvel, you can't speak on no shit that's coming out.
You can't,
because they gonna boot you. They're gonna boot you if you release something you're not supposed to release. So that's why Tom be reacting like that when niggas be trying to get details out of him. His
fingers be sweating. Like, he be like, please, like, stop asking me. Just look at the previews, please. Like, why me? Damn. Damn. Please. Listen. More of the story. When me and Bree get our HBO Max reality series, we going into the interview saying little to nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Next question. Thank you.
Next question. Thank you. But listen. Listen though, listen. We done hit the tournament, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what time it is now?
Yes,
y'all know what time it is?
We getting into it.
We going into the main topic. The main topic. And the main topic of today is travel compatibility.
So this story time is going to be about the time I went to Miami with broke ass bitch and a flight attendants out. And we like, sister girl, like, now you're definitely not getting on this plane. Why is you cursing them out? We're in Miami. You got no car. Like, how's we getting home? Falling asleep while she's driving. I'm in the car. We have somebody else in the back seat. Then the next day was some shit again.
I went on a vacation girls trip with some broke hoes.
Okay. Travel compatibility. Let's get into it because look, this is a very important topic, okay? If you've traveled, if you have a future trip plan, if you're trying or in the process of planning a trip with more than one person, turn your speakers up, tune in because we about to give y'all some real advice. You're gonna hit some real good topics in regards to traveling and maintaining friendships and relationships with traveling because I don't know about you, but like sometimes friendships, they don't be lasted from a trip. Like we all hear the whole girl groups don't survive Miami. It definitely happens outside of Miami too. It happens in a city near you, period.
Yikes. So I guess the question is, what would you define as travel compatibility, Bree? How would you define it in layman's terms? Because to be honest, until like before me and Bree had this discussion, I knew that there was a term for it, but I didn't know what it was. And she was like, "Oh, you mean travel compatibility?" And I was like, "Hey, that's not about damn right. Because if I'm not compatible with your ass while traveling, this shit's gonna fall apart."
Pretty much it's just all of the factors that goes into you having a smooth and successful trip as possible from point A of planning to point B, getting to your destination and returning back. Because there's so many things that could go wrong along the way.
Right.
And if you are traveling with someone where you don't have a plan, the relationship is rocky, like you don't have a good foundation, it's not going to work. It's not compatible. So travel compatibility is very important. Like if you're traveling with anyone, a partner, a friend group, it's very important, bro. It's very important. And it's like also, I would say there's an etiquette that goes along with it as well.
Yeah.
You need to be aware of. We're going to touch on that too.
That makes sense. Bro, and it's funny because like mainly when you're traveling, I mean, because you don't need to be compatible with yourself. You're going to be traveling with another person.
Bro.
So I feel like it's important because we're going to definitely talk about some ways that travel compatibility can go wrong, ways to make them go right, and just some questions that people may have when planning a trip. Like I know for me and, so essentially for Bree's birthday, You know what I'm saying? She had a nice, good birthday to Houston. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We had to basically plan her birthday trip. And, you know, there was a lot that went into it. And there was so many ways that it could have gone wrong. But I think one of the biggest things was that we had a lot of open communication with each other. So it was able to, it was able to work out and flow. And she ended up having a good trip. But to be honest, let's get into some ways that traveling with a group can go wrong, because it almost went wrong. Listen, one of the top ways, bro, is disorganization.
Gotta have a plan. You gotta have a plan, and you gotta stick to that plan. Okay?
If you are unorganized and you are planning something, or you and a group of people are planning something, there's so many ways where people can get kind of irritated and frustrated. Because let's say it's you, right? Like, Bree's mainly the one that plans our trips, right? And the way she does it, she always gives us a good selection of different things. And she always tells us, okay, this is what the ETAs would be like to this place, and this place. She's organized. If you don't have any of that and you go into a trip blind, especially if it's out of country, hell, even out of state, hell, even in state, because these we talking about Airbnbs, hotels, everything could go left.
Yeah.
If you don't have a plan, or at least an outline, or at least some idea before you bring it to a group, it can easily turn from planning the trip to planning who you finna block next. So,
and that's a nice segue into the next thing that could go wrong. Traveling with individuals who are unreliable. Okay, because let's say you do have a plan. You have a whole itinerary.
Yeah.
You got the days listed out, the time periods. You've included the ETAs. You've included naps.
Yeah.
Okay? You got it down to a T. But if someone is involved in this trip who was part of the planning, who was part of creating that itinerary and the group consensus, if it comes down to that person being unreliable, you're going to have a problem. Because here's the thing. Now you're getting off of the itinerary. Now people are like, okay, now we have to figure out what we're doing, because this took about 15 minutes of us trying to figure out what the hell is going on. So now we're 15 minutes behind. Are we still going here? Are we still doing this? Are they going to be showing up? What's going on? And so now frustration is coming up. People are confused. Hell, some may already want to be like, okay, I don't feel like it no more. Like, I might not even be in the mood no more to do something.
Yeah.
All because of this one person being unreliable. And honestly, like, these are people you should not be traveling with at all. At all.
You should.
Because when you go on a trip, like, you want to have fun. Like, if the whole point is, like, even if you're not in a place that you never been to, like, if you go into a place you never traveled to, this is your first time, you're wanting to experience that place, that city, wherever you're at. If you're going to a place that you may have been to before, but there are certain things that you're wanting to do that maybe you haven't got to do in the past, you're going to want to do those things. Right. So if you're dealing with a person that's like, I don't really know, or they're going off schedule, or they're leaving and trying to jump back in, like, no, that's not okay. Especially if you've already agreed to being a part of this trip.
And honestly, on a side note, because I don't want to go off on a super tangent or anything, because we really want to get y'all some good tips. If you come across a person who's like that and you didn't know until the trip happened, it's really good to also make that a mental note that maybe this person is also not beneficial to a friendship as well. And we talk about toxic friendships and relationships and all that stuff in our past seasons. So definitely check out those episodes. It's sometimes because it can be hard because you're like, why are they acting like this? But I think although it's the worst time, it's the best time to see how reliable your friends actually are. Mm-hmm. It's the worst time because you're wanting to have fun, but it's the best time because now you know put in this specific situation, this is how you're going to react and treat everybody else who also, because y'all have to understand, when traveling, everybody's putting their money in it. It's not just, you're going and doing something for this one person or for this one person. Everybody's putting their money in it, so everybody should be able to enjoy it. So if you have a friend or a coworker or an associate who is trying to deviate from the plans, and now it seems like the plans are all about them, that's also a reflection of who they are. And it's time for you to start making some hard decisions. After you got the trip, maybe you're like, you know what? This actually isn't going to work, because now I see that when stuff hits the fan, because on a trip, things can't hit the fan like that.
Yeah.
When things hit the fan, now you see how this person is. So now you're like, maybe actually I needed this to happen, and we're not compatible with travel or friendship.
And that's okay if that happens.
That's okay.
But like, definitely just take a look to see, what their intentions were, because I don't want to necessarily say like, because sometimes some people, they can be unreliable to travel with, but that doesn't necessarily mean like they can't be a friend. That could just be a person you just can't plan trips with them. You might just have to get lunch at the same local spot,
and that's it.
And that's fine. But again, there are going to be things that you're going to have to like figure out as they come up along the way and act accordingly.
Yeah. There's also like having a lack of situational awareness. And that could be dealing with, okay, where is this place located, or dealing with people's finances, or dealing with, you don't really know how the trip is going to go once you actually get there as well. Like, I've heard people have horror stories about they planned all this stuff and they went to an Airbnb, and the Airbnb was in like a non-reputable place, or unreputable. What's the word? Not reputable? A less than reputable place. Okay.
Okay.
And we don't say it like that because that's still grammatically correct. Praise God. A less than reputable place. And now things is looking sticky because we've spent all this money, but now we don't feel safe to sleep in the bed. We don't feel safe to walk outside.
Look, bro.
Uber out this neighborhood.
And honestly, for that reason, like, I would say you really have to take into account where you're traveling and do extensive research. Because even like within the US, there are certain US cities, it is just best for you to book a hotel than an Airbnb. Like, dead ass. Places like Houston, New Orleans, Chicago, like, I would say get a hotel and not an Airbnb. Okay? Save the Airbnbs for Colorado.
Yes.
Save it for a cabin. Okay?
Honestly, at this point, we might just keep in the hotels. I don't know.
Look, because that's another conversation. Airbnb is definitely going downhill. Way downhill. Okay.
It didn't used to be like this. I'm not sure.
It's because a lot of people just basically want to cash in on getting a whole bunch of Airbnbs and taking people's money, and it's no longer like a care that goes along with it. Like, at first when Airbnb came out, their whole thing was just they wanted to add a certain level of hospitality that people weren't getting from hotels. And I get it, because like with certain things, like when you have a large group of people, it is better for you to rent a house. And then also like to have a full kitchen and things like that if you want to make your own food and stuff like that. Like, that is better. But now, you will book one thing and show up in a completely different place. Like, it don't even look like that. Or I've also heard of like horror stories of like people finding cameras. Like, it's very unsafe now.
Or people living in the Airbnbs and they like, it's like not the person that's renting the Airbnb. Like, I saw this one horror story really quick, and the girl was renting out an Airbnb, like renting out, because she does travel vlogs, I think, for Airbnb specifically, or just different states maybe. But she was a young, African-American woman, and she was in this Airbnb, and, the whole time she kept hearing noises. And one of the nights that she was there was a door that kept being unlocked. So she's like, okay, let me just put up her own. She put up her own cameras.
Yeah.
Because she could have sworn that she also saw a shadow like walk past, like in the Spooktober, maybe spooky season. No, but it was not a ghost, y'all. It was a person. There was a whole nother door that she didn't even know was in the Airbnb that somebody was living in, like a squatter. There was a whole nother entranceway.
See, and that's the shit, bro. Like, anytime I be in an Airbnb, best believe I be checking the vents. I be checking the smoke detectors.
Yeah.
I be checking the shower heads.
Yeah.
I've been watching too much true crime and shit. Y'all ain't finna get me.
No, for real.
Y'all ain't finna get me. As soon as I see some shit, I flash my flashlight on it, and if it reflect back, I'm recording it and I'm reporting your ass. And I'm getting my
all this and never this.
You all this and never this.
No, but I know we talked about a lot of horror stories of how, group trips can go wrong and how things could just fall apart, whether that's friendship relationships or whether that's you just feeling like you wasted your money on the trip because you're not having fun. Yeah. Let's just talk about some ways that you can have a successful group or partner trip, okay?
Let's lighten it up a little bit.
Please, just
because it is possible.
It is. It really is. I think one of the first things is definitely realistic time frames.
Realistic. We being realistic, okay?
Yes, because I'm thinking this is me. Y'all can disagree, agree to disagree, whatever. But to me, specifically, if you're trying to do in state, that could be like 3 months of planning. That's fine. 3 months of planning is fine for in state. Out of state, that should go up to 6 to 8 months of planning. Out of country, it needs to be a year to a year and a half of planning. That's just my little guide.
Mm-hmm.
And I only say that because we're also having to incorporate money. We're having to incorporate people's time off. Because some people, their jobs, you have to request like 2 days before, and that's fine. I don't know what job that is, but you can definitely do it. Hey, if you work that pole, baby, they got a real free schedule. I ain't lying. I'm gonna do it. And then you have like corporate where you got to request 2 weeks off. Then you have some places they make you request a month off, and damn, they still might not give it to you. I don't know yet.
That's really crazy, actually, to hear. What?
Yeah, I've heard people, their jobs make them request a month off in advance, and I'm like, but what if I don't know until like 2 weeks before though?
But again, like that's why you have to take into account, because not everyone in the group works the same job. Right. Not everyone in the group has the same financial situation. There'd be some people with families, so they also have to try to find someone to watch their kids, or handle certain things at home, make sure that's taken care of before they can leave the country or leave the state for a trip and things like that. Like, there's certain things that have to go into place. So yeah, you definitely have to be realistic with everything. And then also, I would say having open communication about everything. So finance, traveling expenses. Because y'all, look, the number one thing that people fight about is money. That's just facts. In marriages, in relationships, in friendships, in family. It's a lot of people fight about money. So it's very important that you're having an open and honest conversation and setting those expectations, realistic expectations about traveling. Because if you have a friend and she can't just be dropping a bag on a dime to fly to Mexico for a whole week, plan accordingly. That's your friend where, you may have to just plan a trip to New Orleans or something.
See, that's unrealistic anyways. How many people do you actually know? No.
I mean, it depends. It depends. I've definitely seen and met people that, they were like, hey, I'm trying to go on this trip. No. Let's go. Who down? I'm booking shit now. Send your money. When you ready. And that's that. But you have to be realistic. I'm pretty sure they're not just gonna be asking anybody that.
Yeah. They probably asking a coworker at this point.
But you really have to discuss it because, and another thing too, like that's part of the planning, and that's also like ongoing. Like it don't just stop at whenever you get the Airbnb or the hotel booked and your flight's booked. No, you got to talk about where are we going? What's the itinerary? Are we trying to go out to the club every night? Are we getting a section when we go out? Are we doing fine dining the whole time? Or are we trying to get street food a couple nights? Are we like you have to discuss it all. Are we doing excursions?
That's money.
Are we going to any museums? Are we going to any doing any other activities that cost certain funds that require reservations, that require booking ahead of time? That requires a conversation. Like you can't just go along and just hope that everything's just gonna work out, because what you're gonna find yourself in a situation to where you thinking, okay, well, since this is my girl, we just ran up a full tab at this restaurant and now the bill is here at $400 and she only talking about paying $50.
What?
So how you gonna carry that conversation? Are you really gonna pay the rest?
No.
Let her pay $50? Because then it's like, then why was you out here? Bro, because that'd be another thing you be seeing people fight about a lot. The check when it come out.
Yeah.
Just be like, well, I only got an appetizer. No, bitch. You got an appetizer and 2 entrees. I saw your ass. And you ordered 2 drinks.
Okay, so real quick, how you feel about that? When there's a bill, right? And it's 5 friends, and let's say everybody got $100 steaks, except for one friend who got a chicken parmesan. Hers is about $30. And they come out with a $530 bill, because you got a $430 bill because you got the 4 friends and then 5. Okay, yeah, $430 bill, and everybody talking about let's split it evenly.
Well, my thing is, before the check even came, if you were like you only want to pay for your food and what you got, you should have told that waiter, hey, do my bill separately.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that's one thing I'm like, I don't understand why people can't just say that. Like, and I get it. Like, some people are like, well, there are certain places where you can't split the bill. Okay, well, you should know that before you go to that place, should you not? We know the restaurants where you can't do that. So again, you know where you're at.
That's true.
Act accordingly. That's all. Because at that point, it's like, no, you was just here for the ride, and now, bitch, the ride is over. See, now we're dealing with the consequences. We're dealing with the aftermath.
And I feel like open communication like that also goes hand in hand with one of our last things, and it's just being assertive with your traveling companions or your friend group that you're traveling with. Because like you said, we're going to all these different excursions. I'm also thinking about how much is transportation from this place to this place. Do we get an Airbnb that's in the middle or a hotel that's in the middle? Or are we going to have to drive hella Ubers? That racks up a bill, because if it's more than 4 people, you're going to have to get an Uber XL anyways.
Yeah.
And if it's more than that, you're going to have to take 2 Ubers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and if y'all trying to be classy and ride in style, we got the Uber Black or the Uber, it's like another Uber that you can get, Uber Luxury. And it's like, what is the details? You have to be assertive with your friend group, not only as somebody who's participating, but even if you're planning everything. Be assertive. If somebody is seeming like, they are wanting to change ideas after everybody's already agreed and voted, because we talk about that too. Doing a vote of what people want to do, because that makes everything fair.
Yeah.
And after the voting, that's a wrap. Ain't no more changes after that. After the voting, unless it's something that everybody agrees on. But if you have that one person that's like, after all that voting, is now trying to deviate and trying to get people all riled up and confused, confuffled.
Not confuffled.
Confuffled, then you need to be assertive with that friend and be like, hey.
Stop it. Get some help.
Stop it. Get some help. Stop
Get
it.
some help. Stop
Get
it.
some help. Stop it. Stop it right now. Your mother would be very disappointed. Stop that.
Bro, wasn't that, what's his name? Michael Jordan?
He said,
Stop it. Get some help.
Get some help. Please.
But really, some of you do need to listen to that because, again, honestly, bro, I'm like, just planning a successful trip, it just boils down to knowing who you can travel with, who are you compatible with travel-wise, knowing the people you're traveling with, having a set plan, and having those necessary conversations and communicating throughout the entire process. Because, again, it does not end after you book the Airbnb, you book the hotel, you book your flights. You got to continue. You actually have to be on the trip.
Yeah.
You have to continue these conversations because things don't always go according to plan. That's just life.
They don't.
But you got to be able to handle it as it comes up.
They don't.
And being with the right group of people, that's definitely a huge part of how smoothly things can go.
Yeah.
Yes. Praise God.
Praise God.
We survived. we survived.
We did.
Yes.
And I hope that y'all took these tips and are able to answer some common questions. Like, I know there's questions like how to deal with conflict with inviting an unreliable friend. Like Bree said, just tell them, hey, maybe we should just do lunch dates. I love you, but I personally don't feel comfortable traveling with you.
And that's fine. And that's fine. Like, girl, I love you. You like me? Okay, let's keep it that way. It's how we continue liking each other. Yes.
If something goes wrong on the trip, how do I handle the conflict after the trip? Or how do I mend a friendship? Be assertive. Talk to them, communicate, and be like, hey, I know this happened. If it's worth saving at the friendship, because we already talked about if unreliable friend is showing toxic traits, sometimes a conversation can be had. Sometimes it doesn't have to be. It all depends on how you feel about that friend after, and if you feel like your mental health was affected, and if you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to talk to nobody afterwards if you really don't want to, because that's your prerogative and that's how you feel.
Okay, because at the end of the day, you don't owe anyone answers.
You don't owe anyone any damn answers, and maybe that trip was just to show you who your people are. So I hope that we was able to help with some of that stuff, because we survived.
And I just like to say before we end this conversation, JJ, our friend group, y'all did that. Honestly, look, because look, the stuff that we was listing, the experiences that we were sharing, there were some issues that arose during the trip. It definitely was. But luckily, I was traveling with my day ones and my partner. They had my back the whole time. They were like, yo, we had our plan. We sticking to it. You our girl. We gonna make sure you good. If you good, we good. And it was good. And overall, it was a really great experience. And I was so proud of y'all for just taking the lead and planning this. Like, y'all, they really made a whole itinerary for me and listed that shit out. And we hit most of the shit on the itinerary. Because I'm going to be honest, yeah, we hit most of the shit on the itinerary. Because we were dealing with an unreliable person. But that's okay. That's okay. Again, it was overall a great experience. And I was so happy. And then moving forward, I'm going to be on the planning committee.
Yikes. Hey, we tried our best. And
no, y'all did that. Y'all did that, though.
And to see you happy was honestly, that was the goal. And we were so happy to see you happy. Bree plans everything, literally everything. And one of our friends, bro, it was Crystal, I'm gonna say your name. She was a stickler for the itinerary. She was like, we got this itinerary for Bree because she always makes sure she got the itinerary for us and it needs to be followed. Bro, she was about to throw some hands.
Bro, shout out to you, Crystal, because I appreciate y'all. Like, y'all some real ones for real.
We love you so much, and we know that you love us, and we are so thankful that you were able to see even just a fraction of our appreciation, bro. Just in the action, and the action. I don't like fraction. I don't know the lyrics because I guess I'm not truly a barb anymore. Hey, take this and do what you will with this. We gave you the tools. Use them. That was too good. Let's get the developer. Where we at? Where we going? What we doing? Where we going? What we doing? Where we going? It's time for
Places to be
and
people to see. Oh, Jay, what you gonna put us on to?
Bro, I got actually a few couple of places. So, unfortunately, I broke my no spending for October, and I did a couple of Uber Eats that I do regret, but it's okay because one of the places that I want to drop is Lucky's Hot Chicken. Okay. This place is, I believe, off of Gaston Avenue. It's in Dallas. Yo, they have some really good chicken, and it's like, you know how the common Nashville hot chicken is like the powdery, like hot chicken and stuff like that. This chicken was busting a little bit, like
okay.
And they had
like it was juicy.
It was juicy, and it didn't feel like unseasoned hot. Because there's a lot of hot chicken places that's hot, but that's it.
That's it. Hot. Like they just throw some buffalo sauce on there, and it's like, you know, it's buffalo sauce.
That's it.
That's it.
And
but it's not that.
It was really good, and they also have this thing called Howlin' fries, and it's their signature Lucky sauce, which I feel like, I'm not really sure if that's like a chipotle sauce that they use, and then it's ranch and cheese on it. I know that sounds like a lot. It sounds like your stomach's gonna be like, but listen, my stomach was not like that actually, and the fries was great. It's even great without all that sauce because they have these seasoned fries that are chef's kisses. I don't know if it's Cajun mixed with some paprika, some oregano. I don't know, y'all, but whatever they got in the recipe, please keep doing Lucky's, because y'all got a repeat customer for me. The chicken was it was also a nice portion too. Like, I didn't feel super full. I do recommend going in though, because I love Uber Eats, and this is non-sponsored, obviously, but they like to tax on like delivery fees and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's anybody.
Going in, you would save a whole bunch of money. So check it out. Lucky's Hot Chicken. Really, really good.
Okay, that do sound good. Next time I'm in Dallas, I need to pull up.
Okay.
Look, you said it was on Gaston, okay?
Yeah, Gaston Ave.
Okay. But the place I'm gonna tell y'all about is located in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They also have a location in Moore, Oklahoma. But it's a movie theater called the Warren Theater. And it's really nice. Like, it has like that Art Deco feel. Like, you know, think of like Great Gatsby. Like, it's the setup outside is just really grand, really beautiful. It's a huge theater. They have inside, they have a diner, an arcade. They have like the first floor is just like the regular movie theater, the auditoriums. You could do the select seats for those. But then they also have an upstairs, which is for 21 and up. They have a full bar. And then they have like these balcony seats and these director suites. So it's really, really interesting. The tickets are like separated into different tiers. So the general, you would get like the first level auditorium seats.
Right.
Which I want to say they still have like the reclining ones, or like the heated seats for those still. But if you want to, you know, take it up a notch, like if it's a special night, or you really like want to have a special experience with this movie, and y'all know I love going to the movies. I would say suggest, you know, upgrade to that director suite ticket. Okay, so with the director suite, it's a smaller theater because it's completely more intimate. They have larger seats, like larger reclining seats, or beds. Depending on the location you go to, they'll have an actual bed for you to lay down with. You know, it's big enough to fit 2 people. And you get food and drinks like ordered and brought right to you at your seat. And it's just a really great experience. And then there's also like the balcony seats. So like with those, like you're in the same auditorium as like the regular seating. So like the regular seating would be on the first floor below you, and then on the balcony, it'll be you and then like a few other like seats sectioned off. And it's still like that like larger reclining seat to where you can sit closer to like the person that's next to you, and they have like the tables to where you can eat and have your drinks and stuff at. It's just really nice. Like I enjoy going to the movies and doing like dine-in and stuff like that. Because I just feel like it does take the experience up a notch. So if that's something that you're, interested in trying, and you're either in Moore, which is in between Norman and OKC, Oklahoma, or Tulsa, Oklahoma, definitely check out Warren Theaters.
She gonna take me there when I come next time, y'all.
Yeah. And she gonna make it real. Y'all gonna see it.
Bitches with short torso.
Y'all know what time it is. It's time for the first Bitches with of season 3. And I'm about to tell y'all about this really stupid shit that happened one night. And this day was actually very crazy for me in general. Like there were other stuff that happened to me earlier this day, but I was just kind of like, you know what? I'm gonna just continue moving forward, put this shit behind me. Like I'm still good, and continue on with my day. So me and my boyfriend, we had did our little grocery pickup, and so we were heading back to our place. And the way that our apartment is set up, we have like our apartment community is fully gated. And in order to get into the gate, you have to like scan your card to get in the gate, or stop at a gatehouse to like if you're a guest or something like that to speak with security in order to get a pass to get in, or go to a parking garage. So we're driving, and my boyfriend, he slows down because he's getting ready to turn into our apartments and scan his card to get into the front gate. So as he's slowing down and turning, all we hear is this car behind us blaring their horn. And I'm looking around like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? And then he just could, like, because again, we were already in the process of turning. So he turned and then stopped to like get his card out. And I'm looking like, what? And then the car passes us to go to the parking garage of our same apartment complex.
Wait.
So I was like, okay, interesting. So we go inside the gate, park, about to get our groceries out to carry upstairs. Soon as I get out, before I even get the door to open to get to our groceries, I hear from the parking garage a door slam and some shuffling, like someone's running up real fast. So in my head, I'm already like, all right, some shit finna go down. So I pull out my phone because I'm like, if anything does actually happen and I do actually end up fighting and I do actually end up beating their ass and they press charges on me, because I do live in Oklahoma, it was a good possibility this person was white. Yeah, I'm gonna have video evidence to hold up in court. So I pulled out my phone to record right away as soon as I start hearing this. And sure enough, it was a person that ran up to the stairs. She stayed at the top of the stairs to yell at first.
Okay.
Wasn't white though. It was a Latina woman.
Okay.
But she stayed at the top of the stairs and was just going on about how we didn't use our blinker when we turned in the apartment complex, and she was about to run into us and was going da 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 and like all this shit. And I was just like, pause. What? And I was kind of like, all of this because he didn't use a blinker? Okay. And so I'm sitting here like, ma'am, do you hear what you're saying? Okay, he didn't use a blinker, but like you're doing the absolute most. Like you're doing a lot. This is not that serious. Like he didn't use a blinker, like sorry, but like we didn't crash. So
and why are you riding so close to somebody to where you almost hit them in the first place?
We gonna get to that. So she doesn't want to hear that. Because obviously this woman just wanted to have a problem.
Right.
So as she's
Probably
doing that, and I'm sitting here like, okay, again, like you're doing a lot, like, and then she's like, oh, you can record me. Do I look intimidated? And did this weird shuffle shit, and I was just looking around like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? And I was just kind of like, what? And then she was like, yeah, you can record me. You ain't gonna do shit. And I'm like, okay, says the person standing on top of the stairs.
This ain't even
And so then she moves closer and she's like, you ain't gonna do shit. I'm like, okay, are you gonna do something? Like, are you gonna do something? I want to know. And so once we get close contact, then my boyfriend kind of swoops in because he's like, okay, yeah, nah. And then her tone changes as well. As soon as she gets closer, she lowers the tone. And she's like, well, you didn't use your blinker and we almost crashed. And I was like, okay, sorry, but like, again, why were you driving that close? Because legally, if we would have crashed, it would have been your fault. You're not supposed to be driving that close to where as soon as a person brakes, you run into them. Legally, it's supposed to be at least a car size in between you and the car in front of you.
Recommended 2 cars.
But sis wasn't hearing that. My boyfriend was apologizing, but she was still like just caught on wanting to yell at me. So I was getting crunk with her back. And at that point I was like, okay, I think I have enough footage on my phone. And I was ready to scrap, honestly. It takes a lot for me to get out of my element, but again, I was already frustrated. So I was really ready to take out all of my aggression on this woman over this dumbass shit. Because again, we didn't crash. So she was upset about a what if, and then also a what if that was actually, in reality, her fault. Because why was she driving that close?
Yeah.
Again, he apologized for not using his blinkers, but she said she didn't want an apology. I got that in the video as well. But and so I'm like, so what do you want if you don't want an apology?
What do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want?
This girl was barely like, look, she wasn't using the right words for certain stuff. Okay. And that was making her upset even more because I'm not gonna lie, I was being a bitch. So I was kind of making fun of her during the entire altercation because bitches was talking about, I'm just trying to have a civic conversation. And I'm like Honda? Oh, this bitch means civil. Oh, this bitch illiterate. Okay. So what do we want again? You don't want an apology? Then what is it? What do you want? I just want you to acknowledge. Okay, can you define what apology is? What is an apology if not acknowledgement for something wrong? So again, this woman's just yelling for no reason. I'm looking around like, okay, I'm just about to get my groceries out because we're just arguing with a brick wall at this point. We don't know what this woman wants. I keep asking her what she wants. She just saying all types of shit that come to mind. So I get my groceries. Then an innocent bystander, this woman that was clearly pregnant, because I saw her belly before she even fully approached us.
Oh.
She walks up and is essentially like, what's going on? So I'm trying to tell the woman that this woman is upset with us because she almost crashed into us because he failed to use his blinker. But we didn't crash. She was just driving too close when he turned. And the woman was just like, okay, so then what's the issue? Sis didn't want to hear that. So that made her even more upset, I guess, that the woman wasn't on her side. This pregnant woman, she decides to buck up on this pregnant ass woman like she was gonna do something to her. Y'all.
And that's when you're like, now I can finally.
One, my boyfriend stepped in between, was like, whoa, that's what we're not finna do. You taking it too far. This is a pregnant ass woman. I'm sitting here like, oh, you finna get shot. Because the woman was definitely like, oh, you on gang? And she was about to go get her husband.
Oh.
And I was like, and she was definitely, so I'm sitting here like, sis, he's about to come down and shoot your ass. Yeah. Not us, you. Because she gonna pour your ass out.
She said, oh, you on gang, huh? Okay.
Yeah. So I was just like, okay, so where are we going with this? By this point, I already have all our groceries in a basket, about to walk in the building. I'm like, are we done? Bye. Like, I don't know why we're still here. Leave. Just walk away. Finally, she goes back to her car. I'm like, Okay. Y'all, this girl had a whole full-size pizza. This girl jumped out her car to argue with us outside for 15 minutes. Meanwhile, it's 30 degrees outside while we doing this. And she had a whole pizza. I know that pizza was cold. And I could not help it, y'all. I couldn't help it. Once I saw that pizza, I was like, girl, you did all this and wasted all this energy. Now your pizza cold. You finna eat cold ass pizza. She really lost it there, y'all. She really lost it there. My boyfriend looked back at me like, Bree. And I was just like, bro. And I know sis was really mad because she was definitely in the wrong the entire time. Was 5 seconds away from getting her ass beat and then getting shot by the pregnant woman's husband. And then had to go upstairs and eat some cold ass pizza. Really wild. So I think sis started counting the minutes before the husband came down, because then after that she decided to just walk to her building with her cold ass pizza, and then the security came down and was like, I saw the whole thing on security. Yeah, we know it was her fault and everything. And I was like, yeah, her car right there too, if you want to go ahead and report her ass for this shit. Cause like, what?
Because that's a disturbance to the peace too. Like, come on.
Yeah. And the fact that this was all for nothing, like, I'm still like baffled. And I'm not gonna show the video, but like JJ saw I sent the video the same night to my friends. She looked a hot mess. She looked just as dumb as she sounds. And I really hope that she went back and thought on her actions and decided to be better. I really do. Because I swear if I see her again, I'm going to just bust out laughing. Because, like, it was just so many things that were wrong. And sis just wanted to be right for the first time in her life, probably. I don't know.
She just wanted to be right.
Bitches with.